Today we're creating a seamless repeat pattern brush in Procreate with texture and transparency. We'll be using black and white to create the brush itself, and I'll also share how to add soft color dynamic settings to your brush. I'm going to start by creating a brand new canvas. I've listed my specs on screen, and let's begin. This week's tutorial is brought to you by Envato Elements, which is kind of like the Netflix of graphic design. They have tens of thousands of resources available to artists, including stock photos, presentation templates, audio tracks, logos, fonts, and my favorite, Procreate brushes. We're actually going to be using a set from their library for this week's tutorial, and they've generously offered every Tuesday subscribers with a 70% off coupon, which makes it less than $10 a month to try out. It's limited time though, so tap on the link in the video description to grab your coupon, and let's go download our brushes. Okay, let's start by grabbing the brushes that we'll be using. So once you're logged into Envato Elements, up here in the search bar, all I'm going to do is type in tattoo ink. And if I scroll down to add-ons, it's going to be this very first one right here with the anvil and the brushes. So tap on that and download and install. Okay, I am in Procreate. I have those brushes installed, and you'll notice that these ones are kind of your drawing brushes, and then you've got texture brushes. There's a bunch of stipple brushes that don't have pressure variation, and then you have a third set right here that are pressure dynamic. I'm going to start with this first set, the drawing set, and I'm going to grab the standard ink liner. We're going to start by making that seamless brush, and if you missed my tutorial a couple of weeks ago, I'll link it on screen and in the video description. So I'm going to move a little quicker with this one, because if you've already seen that, then you already know how to make it a seamless pattern, but I will talk you through it in this so you'll still be able to follow along. So I'm going to start by grabbing the standard ink liner brush, and the most important thing to know is when you're creating a brush, it has to be black and white, and you need a black background with whatever the pattern's going to be. It has to be drawn in white. So I need to add a black background to this, but it's really important that it's separate from your background color layer. So I'm actually going to take this layer 1 and make it black. So double tap where black is to get true black, and then just grab that and drop it in. Next, you're going to create a brand new layer right above it. We're going to switch to white, so double tap where the white is, and you can really draw whatever you would like here. I'm going to draw some leafy branches because it's a great opportunity to show you how to add texture and transparency to a pattern brush. So I'm just going to draw some simple branches, and then we'll add some transparent leaves to them. I'm going to make them turn in different directions so it feels less repetitive once it becomes a seamless pattern. So I'm going to leave these branches on their own layer and create a brand new layer right above it and drag this new layer underneath the branches layer. And this is going to be my first layer of leaves, and I'm going to make these 50% transparency. So tap on the little N and drag this down to around 50%. Make sure you still have white selected for this, and I'm going to change the brush so I can add a little bit of texture. So I'm going to grab the wet ink liner brush, and this will just give me a bumpy edge so it'll look a little more organic. And these are going to be really simple. I'm just making these teardrop shapes for the leaves, and I'm going to put them at the ends of all these branches, and I'm also going to add some right along the edges. And I wait until the very end to fill these in because you can use Procreate's kind of recent edition of a recoloring tool, and it makes adding fill to elements really, really fast. Another really important thing before you go too far down this road of making a pattern brush is you don't want any elements to extend beyond the canvas bound. So I'm not cropping off anything on the edges. You want to make sure you don't have any artwork touching or cropping off the edge because we're going to move everything in a minute. So first we need to fill all of these leaves in. So in order to recolor, you're just going to drag your color into the leaf, hit continue filling with recolor up there. Down here, you want to make sure your flood is less than 100. It will not work if it's at 100, so it can be anything. I usually keep mine like 95-ish. And then you're going to have some crosshairs. Mine are right in the middle of my canvas, and you're just going to drag it where you want it to go. So I'm just going to put it right in the middle of the leaf, and then I can just continue tapping inside of every other leaf, and it'll just fill it super fast. When you're all done, you can just deselect, and we are all set to go. The next thing I'm going to do is add a little bit of texture to these leaves. So I'm going to actually use my white at full opacity for this. So create a brand new layer right above the leaf layer. And I'm going to switch to one of the stipple brushes. So this one that does have pressure variation, The very first one, stipple 1 in that second set, so you can see how the line gets larger in the middle. That's the set that I'm using versus this one that's just a continuous weight. So I've got stipple 1 selected, and I'm using it at a pretty large size. I'm around 50%. And all I'm going to do is press that texture into the leaf. It's very quick. It's not gestural at all. I'm just adding a little bit of texture there. And it's perfectly fine that it extends beyond the leaf. I'm going to show you a really easy way to correct that. So I'm just going to go around to all these leaves, and at the base of them, I'm just going to add a little bit of that texture. Because this brush has pressure variation to it on the larger leaves, all I have to do is press down a little harder and I'll get that larger texture. Once you have that texture into all of your leaves, all you want to do is on your leaf layer, you're just going to tap on the layer thumbnail and choose select. Make sure your selection settings down here match mine. If you have anything else selected, it will not work. And then you're going to come up to this texture layer that we just added in, tap on the layer thumbnail, and choose mask. And now everything is locked into those leaves. I don't have to do anything else. Next, I'm going to add a little bit of depth with transparency. Since these leaves were 50%, if I put leaves on top of them that are more opaque, like 90% instead of 50%, we'll get that nice variation and we'll also give the impression of depth. So right above the layer that we just created, the texture layer, I'm going to create a brand new layer. And I'm right below the branches layer. I actually think I want this above the branch layer, so I'm just going to drag it right above the branch layer, so layer at the very top. I still have white selected. I'm going to change the opacity for this layer to 90%, and I'm going to switch back to the standard ink liner. And I'm just going to add in a few more leaves and overlap some of the existing leaves, so we'll be able to see that transparency really well. And once again, I'm just leaving these as outlines, and I'll go back in and fill them with that recoloring tool. Let's fill those in, following the same process as before. There are our leaves, and now we're going to make this into a seamless pattern. So first we need to group everything we've done together, including the black background. Group that. Next, we're going to set up our pattern selections. If you have any trouble with this process at all, just reference that other tutorial and you'll know exactly what to do. So I'm going to create a brand new layer up at the top. I'm going to grab just a random color and fill the entire canvas with it. Then I'm going to select that big square, and down here under snapping, I'm going to tap on this, turn magnetics on, and up my distance to max and my velocity to max. I'm also going to hit the wrench, go into canvas and toggle on drawing guide, and then hit edit drawing guide. Down here I'm going to increase my grid size to max, so I just have a vertical and horizontal crosshair. And if it's difficult to see, increase your thickness and your opacity and change the color if you need to using the color bar up here. I'm going to hit done. Next I'm going to reselect that square and move this square into this box right here. So just drag it, and with the magnetics and the snapping turned on, it'll snap right in there. Create a brand new layer, grab another random color, drop it in, select it, and now we're going to move it into this square. Wait for it to snap, and we're all set. One more time, create a brand new layer, grab a random color, drop it in, and we're going to do this square up here. Wait for it to snap, and we're good to go. All right, now we're going to return to the green one. So come to the green layer, tap on the layer thumbnail, choose select. Down here, once again, make sure all of your settings are the same as mine, and then hit save and load, and then hit the plus sign under selections, and that's it. Come to the pink layer, tap on the layer thumbnail, choose select, save and load, plus. Come to the orange, tap on the layer thumbnail, select, save and load, plus. I can deselect. I can get rid of these layers by toggling to the right and choosing delete, delete. Now we're all set to go. It's difficult for me to see my grid line now because they're black, so I'm going to change the color of them. So come to the wrench, edit drawing guide, and I'm just going to select a lighter color up here so I can see it a little bit better. Next, we need to flatten what we've already done, but I like keeping all of my layers separate. So I just hold on to this group, but I make a duplicate group. So drag it over to the left and choose duplicate. Turn off the first group's visibility by unchecking that. And then on this brand new group, tap on the layer thumbnail and choose flatten. Now these are all on the same layer. Now we need to apply the selections to this layer. So with that layer selected, tap on the selection icon up here, save and load, tap on selection 1, come up to the wrench, add category, cut, paste. Come back to your layers, select the original layer, this layer 1, hit the selection icon, save and load, selection 2, wrench, cut, paste. Come back to the layer 1. This is the last time. Hit the selection icon, save and load, selection 3, wrench, cut, paste. Now we have 4 squares and they're all on their own layers. And let's label these layers now. This is going to be layer 1. This is layer 2. This is layer 3. And this is layer 4. Now we need to move these layers around a little bit to make it a seamless pattern. So first you want to select layer 1 and layer 3. So drag layer 3 over to the right so they're both selected. And then select them and move them straight down. And they'll snap just like that. Now you're going to select 2 and 4 and drag those ones up. And now we need to move these 2 over here and these 2 over here. And this will make it so all the sides will be seamless and you won't be able to know that there's any gaps anywhere. So I'm going to select layer 1 and layer 2, move these to the right, and then grab 3 and 4 and move these to the left. Now we have to fill this giant gap right here, and that will make it feel seamless. So we need to fill this gap with the same type of art that we just created. So whenever I'm creating art in this negative space, I put all of that art on their own layers. That way I can kind of work with it and edit it as I go along before I flatten anything. Coming back into these layers, we can flatten our moved layers now. So I'm just going to pinch all those layers together. And now these are all on their own layer. Create a brand new layer, switch back to white, and I'm going to recreate some of these branches and fill in all this negative space. So the branch was the standard ink liner. And if I want to remove part of this branch, like if I want this branch to come further down so it feels more natural, like I think this would look a lot better, but I need this branch to be shorter. So I need to erase that. But if I come onto this layer and erase what I need, you can see it's white back there. So I need to create a brand new layer and drag it underneath there and fill it with black. And there we go. Since that's our black background, we had everything flattened on this layer. So whenever you erase anything, you're erasing the background too. So we're adding an additional background. I'm going to come back to this branch, make sure I've got white selected, and continue on. And make sure when you're adding these extra details that you're not bleeding off of any of the edges again. I think that fills it out pretty nicely. So I'm going to create a brand new layer, drag it underneath the new branches, change the opacity to 50%, head back to my wet ink liner 3 brush, and put these leaves in. And make sure you're closing the path on all of these when you're drawing them in. If you want to overlap any of the existing leaves, you'll get a nice transparency effect that way as well. It's totally up to you if that's something you want to do. Let's fill these in now. If you'll remember, the next thing we did was add in that stippling texture. So I'm going to create a brand new layer right above it, keep it at full transparency, and switch to the stipple 1 brush and just add more pressure on the larger leaves and add the texture to each leaf. To mask it inside of those leaves, we're going to select the leaf layer. So tap on the layer thumbnail, choose select, come to the texture layer, tap on the layer thumbnail and choose mask, and now it'll be masked in there, deselect. And now we're going to add that additional layer of leaves. So create a brand new layer, change the opacity to 90%. I'm going to drag this above my branch layer and switch my brush to the standard ink liner and add some additional leaves. Okay, fill those in. We can turn off our drawing guide now, so I'm just going to come to the wrench, go to canvas and toggle that drawing guide off. I'm going to group everything that we did together, including the original and the added background that we put in. So all of this together except for that reserve group from our original branches, group this together, duplicate that group. We're going to save this one in case we ever need it. We're going to flatten this one. Tap on the layer thumbnail and choose flatten. And now we need to copy this. So tap on the layer thumbnail and choose copy. And then we can turn off this layer. We're going to create a brand new brush. So if we come all the way up to the top of our categories, you'll see a plus sign up here. Hit plus, and then you can name this whatever you would like. So I'll name this one patterns. So we've got our brand new category. We need to add a brush. So hit the plus sign over here. So when you create a brand new brush, it just gives you all the default settings for the brush. So I'm going to give you the exact settings that I use for pattern brushes. I'm going to come to my grain. I'm going to hit edit, import, and hit paste. And your pattern should show up right here, and then hit done. So you can see how it's drawing it in, but we won't have transparency if it's set to moving. So we have to switch this to textured, and now it'll keep the transparency that we added in when we draw with it. So that's exactly what we want, and leave everything the same. If you want your pattern to appear larger or smaller, this scale setting, this will affect how large your pattern appears when you draw with it. I usually start with around 25%, and then I'll either increase it or decrease it depending on how it looks on the size canvas that I'm using. Next, we're going to come into properties, and you can choose how large or how small you want your brush to be. I always increase my maximum size all the way up, so when I'm painting this in, it paints in really fast because my brush is gigantic. So you don't have to sit there and paint with your stylus for forever to get the whole pattern in. It's really fast if you have it all the way up to max. And then it's up to you if you want to increase your minimum opacity or not. I usually leave it to max. So my maximum and my minimum are the same. And that's it. Now let's test out our pattern. I'm going to hit done, create a brand new layer, and let's see what it looks like. You can see we've got that nice transparency and the texture showing up there, and it's seamless. So if we want to see what this looks like a little bit larger, we're going to create a brand new layer, head back into the brush settings. If you go into grain, remember you can change the scale right here. I'm going to up this one to 35, and let's see what that looks like. So that might be a little too big. I'm going to come down to 30. It's pretty sensitive, so just be aware of going in small increments and seeing what you like. So hit done. There we go. You've probably noticed that when you make brushes, they can only be one color. If you want to add additional colors to them, you either need to make a combination brush, or you draw in your details separately, or you can add color dynamics. So I'm going to show you a really fun way to add some color dynamics to this brush. I'm going to delete that layer, create a brand new layer, come back into my brush settings, and under color dynamics, if you change the color pressure, I'm going to up this to like 35% under hue. So it's going to have a color shift of 35% depending on the amount of pressure that I put on the brush. And you can see what this looks like. Let me grab a little bit of a darker purple. I'm also going to reduce my brush size. So I've got light pressure and then heavy pressure, light pressure, heavy pressure. And you can see you get some pretty fun effects that way. But wherever the color change occurred, you can see I've got this really hard line, and maybe I want it to be a softer gradient, so I'll show you how to do that. Let's delete this, create a brand new layer, come back into my brush settings. Under shape, the default is a hard circle. We just need a softer circle right here, and that'll create that softer transition. So if I hit edit up here, import source library, you want to make sure you're under shape source and not grain source, and just scroll down a little bit and you'll see the soft one. So I'm going to select that and then hit done. And now if I do the exact same thing, light pressure, heavy pressure, light pressure, heavy, you can see we've got much softer transitions between the colors. Oh, I missed a spot up here. And we can also, let's change the color a little bit. I'm going to go to blue and add a few areas with the blue. You can see how fun this can get with adding different colors in here, especially with leaves. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please hit the like button, subscribe, and I will see you next time.